Money Moments on 4, sponsored by Gregory Ricks and Associates, the Total Wealth Authority.
All right, welcome back. Talking about this morning's money moment. Right now, record high prices remain a challenge, but we're seeing a slow shift away from a seller's market, and also mortgage rates are dropping. So, right, both good signs that, now may be not be the worst time to buy a home. Still, most experts agree the better question to ask instead is it a good time in my life to buy a home? Housing market trends give important context, of course, so we'll look at some of those numbers here. But ultimately, whether this is a good time to buy a house depends on your financial situation, your life goals, and your readiness to become a homeowner. Sorry, we're having some issue with that video there flashing a bit, so let's just come back here. Okay, so some factors affecting buyers in today's market. We're talking about mortgage rates. They are at their lowest since March, so that's a good sign for you, right? The interest rate on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage averaged 6.29%. That's an annual percentage rate. That is a lot lower than we've been seeing. For the week ending in August 8th, it's down 31 basis points from the previous week and down 77 basis points from a year ago. Now, of course, you can't control rates, but things that you can control. Shopping around for the best deal, that's one option you have right there. Making sure that you can actually afford the monthly payment and locking in your rate. If you get a good one when you first start speaking to the lender, that can, cause you from having some that nervous energy as you're trying to close on a home. All right, some other things that we're looking at here are the supply of homes that are for sale. This is a big one too. That's changed a lot. Experts say the supply of homes for sale is still limited, but numbers are looking better. So that's good news when we're looking at this. Home prices, they're actually higher than ever after a 12-month climb. That we're seeing especially reflected here in the New Orleans market. They say it's less intense than last year, but New Orleans doesn't exactly follow the same national rates. Our numbers are still extremely high across the entire area. As far as some other things here, competition is steady, but it's less intense than last year. They show that most homeowners were getting about 3.5 offers. Now that's a lot lower to maybe 2. So the competition is a lot less, which means you may not have to go above your number if you're trying to really secure a home. Now, as far as home readiness, that's what we talked about in the beginning. You need to ask yourself some questions like, do you have job security? Are you financially secure? And more. Ideally, you'd want to remain in the home long enough for rising property values and your equity to exceed the cost of buying and selling. That includes not just the price of the home, but a real estate commission, mortgage closing costs, all those things that would typically take several years. So you could also be subject to capital gains taxes if the home appreciates in value and you sell it after less than 2 years. So that's why we talked about what's your readiness. Are you able to stay in the home? Oh, lost some scripts there. That you chose for more than 2 years. All right, let's talk about another issue here that we're seeing. Americans are not feeling great about the economy. So stocks have rebounded from last week's drop. The unemployment rate is also historically low. Still, Americans are feeling pretty dreary about the current economy, according to some new studies. Those studies show that even though consumers remain relatively positive about the labor market, they still appear to be concerned about elevated prices and interest rates. Gas prices are up 29%, groceries up 24%, restaurant meals about 31%. Drugstore items have even edged up modestly over the past 5 years, but they rose a notable 2.2% the past year. So everything is up is basically what I'm saying. I don't have to tell you that. Now, prices for appliances and electronics have actually gone down 19% since 2019. Also, the cost of cars, furniture, and clothing have dropped over the past year. So those are some good areas to look at, right? But overall, people's views of inflation matter because it could affect their spending, which makes up 70% of economic activity. And of course, we know that has slowed. It's been sturdy, but it's slowed, and that's caused some of our issues with the economy. All right, one last thing just quickly to let you know about. There is a hiring event happening today. We are trying to show you those details. Obviously, we're having some issues, so you know what? That's all right. Just stick with me. AT&T in Metairie is looking to fill 10 sales positions, so it's not many, but if you are looking for a job and interested, you can go to their website. There we go. There's the details there on Clearview Parkway in Metairie. That's from 9 to 4. Applicants are encouraged to go online ahead of time to fill out an application. Walk-ins will be accepted. I try to post any job postings. They sent this one directly to us. So if you are a business who is looking to hire, you've got those details, do email them to me so that I can share them with anyone who might be looking for a potential job. All right, let's check in with